welcome to Vegas Views. This is Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. We have a lot to share with you today. I always say this, but it is the truth. You are not going to want to miss today's show. How have you been doing this week, Danny?
I'm awesome. The Knights won yesterday.
I know, cool.
We are going to the Cup Finals.
Yes.
The second time, I think, 6 years?
Yes.
Second time in 6 years. I mean, it's amazing for the city. All I could dream of is a championship parade going down the Las Vegas Strip.
How cool would that be?
I will be there 100%. I can't wait. I watched the game last night. It wasn't even a game.
Yeah.
6-0. We killed them, and we're playing the Florida Panthers. I really don't know much about them. They're kind of like a Cinderella team.
Okay.
They were like the 4th or 5th seed in the playoffs. So they were an in-between team, but somehow they made it all the way.
Yeah.
So the Knights are favorite, so they're playing the Cinderella team, so I hope Cinderella's shoes fall off here because I want to see the Knights win this. Are you a Knights fan? Did you ever go to a game?
Oh, yeah, I've been to a few games. I love the Knights.
The atmosphere at a Knights game is
crazy.
I don't care if you're a fan or not a fan. You get there, you're a fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just electrifying. I mean, I've been to so many games also. I love the Knights. I like what they did to the city.
Yeah.
They united the city. Everybody loves them. And now we're getting a new team.
Yeah.
The A's, right?
Yeah. So you've been here long enough when we didn't have anything, right?
2016.
Okay, yeah. So you were here when there was like nothing. Wasn't it cool when all this stuff started happening?
Yes.
Like we're a sports city.
Yes.
Like, we were never a sports city, and becoming a sports city is just so cool.
Yes.
It's so new to us, but I think it's just awesome.
I come from, I'm a Philadelphia sports fan.
Oh,
there's nothing worse.
Yeah.
We're crazy. I've been to so many Eagles games. I witnessed fights at these Eagles games. It's crazy. So when I came to Vegas and I started seeing all of this, my friends were like, "Are you going to leave the Philadelphia Eagles?" And I'm like, "No." So I'm not a Raiders fan, but I will stick for the Raiders as my second team.
Okay.
Because the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, if you cut me, Dawn, I bleed green. I do. I mean, I cried when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl this year. Tears were coming down I watched that South Point. Tears were coming down my face.
I'm sorry.
I know. It was horrible. But when I started moving to the city, I saw that the Knights were coming. I started getting excited. And I became a fan of the Knights immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm hoping the A's, I think, now I'm going to talk to our Las Vegas commissioners or whatever council out there. I think we should change the name of the A's.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I mean, I think, the Raiders is an iconic name, so they kept it.
Yes.
But the A's, I mean, the Las Vegas A's, that just
It doesn't sound right.
Change the name, make it more Vegas. The Las Vegas Royal Flushes, the Las Vegas Blackjacks.
Las Vegas Royal Flushes?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
Las Vegas Royal Flushes?
Do something,
That's
right?
Cool.
I think the Las Vegas A's, it just doesn't fit our city.
Yeah,
I just don't think it. You know where they're putting it, right? The stadium down by the Tropicana.
Yes.
And then I heard yesterday also that they're putting up a casino right next to this. So so they're blowing up the Tropicana, which was bought by Bally's.
Yes.
I didn't know if you knew that.
I know that.
So now they're putting a new Bally's right next to the stadium.
I didn't know that.
And it's going to be a sports theme like the Circa.
Wow.
Yeah, they just announced that yesterday.
Oh my God, that is very cool.
Yeah.
But now Bally's is something else, right? Is that accurate on the strip? What is Bally's now?
Horseshoe.
Bally's is a horseshoe, and then the new Bally's,
is going
to be next to the stadium.
Right next to the stadium.
That is awesome. Okay, guys, I did not know that. Very cool.
And now that you're talking about the horseshoe, we'll get into this.
Okay.
Next Wednesday, Don, I will be at the horseshoe playing in the World Series of Poker.
That is awesome. Tell me about your poker career. Tell me about this.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. When I first moved out to Vegas, I came here with this dream of being a professional poker player. Honestly, I did.
Wow. So how long were you playing before you even came out here?
Oh, probably 10 years. I joined the bar poker league. It's real funny. I joined this bar poker league, and it went for a whole year, and they sent one person, the champion of the bar poker league, out to the World Series of Poker. I never was to Vegas in my life. This was 2009. And I won.
It was you. You won.
Yeah, I won.
Oh, cool.
The bar sent me out here. They paid for my way. I just had to wear the bar shirt and everything. And I cashed. It was a $1,500 event. A lot of people think the World Series of Poker is one event. It's not.
It's a number of. I know
60
that,
events. Yeah, there's 60 bracelet events. I bought into the $1,500 event. They paid for me. I didn't.
Is that a big one? That the $1,500 one? Is that like a lot of different? You did a lot of events with that?
No, that $1,500 was one event.
One event.
One event buying $1,500.
And how did you do?
And I cashed for $3,000. So that was good. I doubled my money. I was happy, and it was all my money because they paid for it. So I got the whole $3,000.
Very cool.
Then I came back out here again. In 2012, I did a little bit better. I cashed for like 4,000 or 5,000.
Okay.
And then recently I played in the World Series of Poker 2 years ago where I cashed. I played last year, but I didn't cash. We don't talk about when you don't cash.
Yeah,
We forget about that when you get knocked out. We forget about that. But
only the wins.
Only the wins. Dawn, this was the biggest. I played in the most participants in poker history. We had 28,000 people playing one tournament. 28,000 people. It was since they have different starting dates. So they'll have like day 1, day 1A, day 1B, and then they all combined everybody into day 2. So they'll have like 5 straight starting dates because they have so many people.
So as it's going though, they're getting knocked out.
Yes,
so
people are getting knocked out.
They're getting knocked out, getting knocked out. How far did you make it?
I made it to the second day dinner break. Okay, so I played 14 or 15 hours the first day, and then the next day I played about 8.
Without sleep?
No, you sleep. They give you. They send you
I
home
you're sitting there for like 14 hours, like.
No, I played for 14 hours. Yeah, I played for 14.
Then
I went to sleep and went the next day at noon. We restart.
That's crazy. Is your brain even like okay after that?
There is a point in the World Series of Poker that you stop caring. Like, you get so tired, you start thinking, you know what, I don't even care anymore.
If I lose or whatever.
Honestly, you get to that point, I think that's the point where guys either rise to the occasion or they sink. Because you get to that point that you're fatigued. You're looking at these cards all day long, and you start thinking, you know what, I don't even care anymore.
Right.
I don't even care anymore. Real quick, and then we'll get off, and I know we're getting excited, but back in 2012, it was, we're getting ready to start, like, they call it bagging the chips.
Okay.
So if you get to the end of the day, they give you evidence bags, you bag your chips, you have to sign it, and then they take your chips, and they re-give them back to the next day. So I was so short-stacked. They call short-stack when you don't have many chips.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to be knocked out. They took one last break. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I called my girlfriend at 1 o'clock in the morning back in the East Coast, which is now 4 a.m.
Okay.
I said, listen, I'm going to lose. I said, I'm going to I have no chips, this and that. And she's going, you're never like this. You're so optimistic. She gave me this big pep talk, right? Dawn, I swear to God, I went back. Next hand, I got aces. The hand right after that, I got kings. Next thing I know, I'm cashing in this tournament. Yes, I was right back in the cash. So, but the 28,000 tournament, I won $800.
Okay.
I came in 4,000 place and won $800. 4,000 I came in.
Okay.
But there were so many people. So
I'm sorry to laugh.
That's all right.
Funny.
Next week, they're having the smallest buy-in ever in the World Series. The smallest buy-in used to be $1,500.
Yeah.
They're having a $300 buy-in to the world. So you can win a championship bracelet for $300. And I was off when I told you earlier, it's $3 million. They're guaranteeing a $3 million prize pool.
And now
so for $300.
How many people are going in that?
I think you're going to break the record. I think you're going to beat 28,000. I am playing day 1, which is Wednesday. And then if I make it through that whole day, then I'll play day 2 is going to be Sunday. Mm-hmm. So you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of like 4 starting dates.
Okay.
And then everybody combines on Sunday if you make it that far.
Very cool.
But you'll probably, if you make it to day 2, you'll probably be in the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What an adrenaline rush.
Is
it like the biggest adrenaline rush to sit there even when you're losing?
The thing about the World Series of Poker, and I know you played before, is you end up playing with these guys you see on TV. I've played with people I've seen on TV. It's crazy. I mean, I played with some celebrities too. I played with Nelly the rapper, right? I played with him.
I love Nelly. I love you. I saw him in September.
I played with him for a couple hours during the World Series. He was at my table. He bought into the World Series. I don't know if you know this one guy. He's a 7-time world champion, men the master.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I played with him for 10 hours. Wow. 10 straight hours. But when I first played with him, I was still like new to this. I was like shaking. You know what I mean? I was like, because I'll tell you, I had ace king, and I know you know about poker, right? So I raise. He's the only one that calls me. I'm thinking, this 7-time world champion. I won from a bar league. This guy has 7 bracelets. I'm just a bar poker player, right? So I raise.
That's bad self-talk.
I know.
Don't do that. If you're sitting there with him, you're sitting there with him for a reason.
That's right. I earned my way, guys.
Yes.
I earned my way. But anyway, the flop came, and I missed. I have nothing.
Yeah.
So he checks to me. It goes back to me. I'm thinking, if I don't raise here, he's going to know that I'm weak. And he's going to take advantage of me all night.
Absolutely.
He's going to know I'm weak. Yes. Right? So I make this big raise. And he looks at me. And I actually over-raised it. And he looks at me. Honestly, I was like, I'm in the master, 7-time world champion, right? he ends up folding. And as soon as he folded, I'm on my phone texting my friends. I just bluffed.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I was just texting. So it's a lot of fun. And I recommend people to go over there.
Yeah.
They combined it now between the
Give them some
horseshoe.
information. So where can they go
Okay,
check this out?
This is the World Series. It used to be at the Rio.
Okay.
The Rio started getting a little bit old. I loved it at the Rio because the parking was easy. It was so easy to go there and you could park. They changed it now to Paris and the Horseshoe. So they combined it. So they have like maybe 4 or 5 ballrooms filled with poker tables.
So Paris and the Horseshoe, but the Horseshoe was the old Bally's. So
Yes.
if you guys who are not familiar with the Horseshoe yet, it's Bally's and it's Paris, but now it's the Horseshoe.
Yes.
Okay.
And they combined it and they're
And the
both
parking
running.
lot's combined, right? You park in the one parking
Yes,
area
and it comes
then
right
you get
down.
both buildings. Okay.
It's perfect. And the World Series it goes on. A lot of people don't realize it goes on it actually started yesterday.
Yeah.
And it goes on to like July 14th, July 15th. It's a month and a half. And if you're a poker player, this is the best time to be in Vegas because you got poker series going everywhere. The Golden Nugget has one. MGM has one. The Venetian has one.
What
the
do
Wynn
they call
has
it?
one.
They're small little satellite ones, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not. They are from the World Series of Poker, but they're their own individual through the Palms has one. I know.
Yes,
that.
they all have these series now.
That's
Because what they're doing is they know all the poker players are in town.
Sure.
So they're giving them other options. And a lot of them are cheaper options. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little cheaper, so they'll go into that tournament instead of a $1,000 buy-in, maybe it's a $400 buy-in at the Rio or the Venetian. You know what I mean? So they're using that, but this is the best time to be in Vegas.
And our city's busy right now, guys, especially if you're watching from someplace else. Come to Vegas. It's busy right now. It's booming. Things are going.
And the other thing is the cash games get very good now.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, and I'm not dissing the bull riders at the South Point, but I'm going to be honest.
Don't mess with the Cowboys.
I'm not going to mess with them, Don. But I'll be honest with you.
We can't do that. They'll get on us, those Cowboys.
When I was trying to make a living out of poker, right? When they were in town was the best time to play poker because they got done riding their bulls, they had a couple drinks, and then I would show up at midnight and they were intoxicated, and I would sit at the table and take the bull riders' money. It was the best time to be. But I love the bull riders. I love going over to South Point and seeing it, but it was the best time to take the money.
Yeah.
I love when the bull
They're in Vegas.
Yes.
They're like, oh, we might as well for a couple $100. And Danny's like,
yes,
we're here.
And I'm dead sober. I used to play at the Mirage. I used to play there all the time.
Did you ever make pretend you had a couple of drinks when you didn't?
Yes, I would keep like a drink there, but I never was drunk. I'd show up at midnight and I'd play to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because the tourists by 2 o'clock they're so intoxicated. Yeah. So I hate to say this, but you take advantage of them. Yeah. You take because they're not paying attention. They're calling you a third pair on the board, and you know what I mean. So it's fun.
So now we just taught the entire world Vegas is hustle. So they're going to come here, not sit at a table with either of us on ever again. Like these people are here to steal our money. We're just kidding. It doesn't really go like that.
And you know what? And when you start playing, like I was playing 4 to 5 days a week at the Mirage, trying to make a living out of doing it.
Yeah.
You start seeing the pros there.
Yeah.
So you notice who's the pros and who's not the pros. You can notice it right away.
Yeah.
There was this one female boxer. She was the female world champion. Mm-hmm. She played at the Mirage. Honestly, she was there every night. I got to know her personally. We ended up being Facebook friends. But she was there every night making a living too.
Yeah.
So you end up seeing who's the pros and who's not the pros.
People don't realize this too, that it is an occupation. They are legal gamblers. You can claim this on your taxes. People outside of Vegas don't really realize this, but you can claim that you are a professional gambler.
Yes.
So that's weird to some people. For us, it's normal.
Yes, it's Vegas.
It's a gambler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they call themselves investors, whatever it is, because you're investing.
Sports betting too. They do that. Yeah.
Now that's legal. See, I remember when that was like an illegal thing.
Yes.
And to have sports betting legal is kind of cool now.
Oh, I love it.
That was like an illegal thing. Yeah.
Listen.
Now they have those apps. Like you could be anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like a jail time years ago.
I came from an Italian family. Okay.
Me too.
So listen, gambling is in our blood. My dad gambled all the time. This was our life. My dad owned a gas station. Okay.
I know that about you. Yes.
He owned a gas station. We also sold used cars. Our whole life was, I lived in Pennsylvania, was the weekends we drove up to Monticello, New York, and we bet on the horse racing and everything up there. It was our life. It was gambling. That was it.
Wait.
Monticello. Yeah, am I saying that right?
Monticello?
Yeah.
New York, they have those little shack like things, and then there's the racetrack.
Yes. We were there all the time.
I've been there a number of times.
Yes.
Monticello, New York.
It was our life.
Yeah.
Either that or we went to Atlantic City. So growing up in an Italian family, that was it. Yeah. And this Sundays, this was my dad talking to his bookie on the phone.
Yeah.
The statute of limitations are up. But he'd be on the phone. Yeah, this is me. My dad would always be afraid to say his name. And I'd be like, Dad, if they're wiretapping you, it doesn't matter if you say your name. They know who you are. My dad was like, yeah, this is me. I'll take the Eagles with 2. I take this. You know, and my dad, I mean, he was on with his bookie every single Sunday. That was our life.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? My dad, and like you said, everything's legal now. I think to my dad's in heaven now. My dad'd be like, oh, I can gamble and not get in trouble.
My dad too.
Yeah.
My dad as well. It's so funny. I'm also one of those, come from very similar family. In my head, I remember being 7. Like, I think I know what a parlay is.
Yes.
You know, you grow up with it. And
yes.
You off-track betting, OTB.
Oh my gosh.
Remember the OTB? That was legal in New York, off-track betting. Do we even have a break here? I don't know. Are we breaking today, production?
We were really going to town today.
To be on a 5-minute chit chat. Okay, but anyway, yeah, no, I understand what you mean. But so yeah, it is crazy how it's all legal now, right? So people in Vegas, they come here and like, oh, this is so cool. But for us, it's so normal. Like, I don't drink personally, but drinking on the streets and all of that. And you go to some of the other places, and they're like, the rules. And it's hard for me to travel because I'm used to Vegas now. Now it's like, oh, everything goes here, and other places are so different.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Atlantic City?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. You have been? Oh yeah, you're from New York. Yeah. I mean, I spent my weekends there. I mean, and we went to Wildwood, New Jersey on vacation. That's where we went. And AC, though, you know, the thing about AC is the crime is so bad there.
Oh, yeah.
That's why them casinos don't make it.
Yeah, and that boardwalk, they got to clean that up.
If they don't clean that up, that city's going to stay away, especially now that Pennsylvania has gambling.
Yes.
You know, Philadelphia is only an hour from Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia has like 5 casinos now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be hurting Atlantic City. I mean, Atlantic City got to clear up the crime. I always said that. For them to be Vegas, they have to clear up the crime.
Yeah. Also, Queens, New York, there are, I think, 2 casinos now. Nothing in Manhattan yet, I don't think. I could be wrong, guys. Right. But also, I heard, I haven't been around, but I had heard that the neighborhoods are so bad, the casinos aren't going to make it. There's literally, like, all that stuff going on outside, from prostitution to homeless. They're sleeping on the streets there. It's like they're building tent city around these big, beautiful casinos. They're not going to make it.
That's not going to make it. No, people
They've
don't
got to clean that up. See, that's the thing about Las Vegas, though. It's a positive and a negative. For us, the locals who live here, we know the truth about the crime and what goes on and the hustle. And there's always a hustle. You go to Las Vegas Boulevard, someone's hustling something. But for the tourists, it looks everything looks pretty. Everything looks, they kind of hide away. I guess they leave the homeless a lot to downtown, but they've cleaned that up too.
Yes.
A lot, like the Fremont area. Yeah. But over by, let's just say, starting Mandalay Bay and the Four Seasons down to about, what would you say, the Sahara. It's pretty cleaned up now.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they're not sleeping on the streets or anything like that. There's homeless everywhere in this city, especially to you guys tourists. It's everywhere. But we have just a good cleanup system.
Yeah.
You know.
And you've got to watch yourself on the strip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think some tourists come here and they think it's totally safe. It's not totally safe.
When I first moved here, believe it or not, as, I don't want to call it paranoid, as alert as I am as a person. When I first moved here, though, I was like, oh, Las Vegas Boulevard. There's like 1 million people around me. It's so pretty. It's so nice. This is an upscale neighborhood. This is all the people staying in these hotels pay so much money. Like, I'm not going to get hurt. My perception was totally off till I realized, like, oh, the underground is literally behind the casino. So you're like walking around, you're safe behind the casino. There's so much going on, so much hustle. And then I realized, like, oh, okay, this is not as... You know, you've got to have your guard up 100%. Yeah. In this city especially. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. I had a guy at my poker table, tourist, okay? And he was actually at my poker table in the World Series, and he was robbed here in the city.
But you no, I'm kidding. Yes.
Yeah, not at the poker table. But he was staying he said he never was here before. Yeah. He's coming down for the World Series of Poker. He said, I was looking for a cheap room, of course. You know, they're all looking for cheap rooms, which I don't blame them. Mm-hmm. And he got a room at the Stratosphere. So he says, yeah, if you know poker players, they'll like, if a guy bets $300, they'll put $300 in like that. But if you tell them to buy a $20 meal, like $20, oh my God! But they'll throw $300 in a pot, hoping a spade comes out or a heart comes out,
right? That is, by nature, a true gambler.
Yes!
You will, me, I'm not kidding. I'll drive around. I'll buy myself something I love because I love it and I want it and I have to have it, but I will drive like 4 miles to get cheaper gas.
But poker...
will. 7 cents on strawberries? Yes. I'll go to Vaughn's. Not the same way.
So this guy was like, he's trying to save his money, he tells me. So he said, I wanted to eat cheap. So he says, he sees some guy outside the Stratosphere and says to him, is there any good places like in walking distance to eat here? This guy tells him, yeah, walk right down here, walk about 3 blocks. He goes down there 3 blocks. Of course, they set him up. 4 guys. The guy that tells him where to go, yeah, all 4 of them surround him, rob him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they totally set him up. And he said, I gave him my money. He said, I looked at the guy and said, you got me. And he said he gave him his money. He says, so they took advantage of him being a tourist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's sad that we're laughing about it.
I know.
You know what? Guard yourself, guys. Seriously, something like that. Nobody got killed. No one got injured.
Right.
Didn't get stabbed to death. Anything like that. But you know what? It was a setup you're kind of asking for. You know, I hate to say that, but if you know you're in a major city, which Las Vegas is a major city, guard yourselves.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's like going to New York and being like...
You got to keep looking what's ahead of you. When I walk, right, I walk and I look... I hate to say this, but I do it. I look to see if there's danger.
Yeah.
I do, especially when I'm on the strip.
Me too.
I start looking, where's the danger? You know, what am I looking for? A lot of people are this, Don, you know. And listen, I'm a TikToker, you know, so if you look at my weekly, I'm on TikTok about 8 hours a day. I mean, I'm bad about it, right? But you can't do this because, especially when there's strip, people take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't know. We got to be more alert.
They say that, though, and the episode we did was really helpful because I had a lot of women hitting me up after that. You and Dave kind of made them feel better because they were like, you know, we said that it was normally someone that knows you that's going to do this, the boogeyman in the bushes episode. Yes. Okay, so that's not likely, but it is likely. So I didn't want people to get the wrong impression, just so you guys know, the ones that have commented to me on my Instagram about this episode, people are going to go and hurt you if your head is down, if you're not looking up, if you're not paying attention. So I think people took it as, we feel so much better now because 95% of the time it's someone that knows you. Yeah. Yes, but on the streets of Nevada, if your bag is out and you're like this and you're paying attention to your friends, it's girls' weekend or whatever, yes, you will get robbed. Somebody will grab you up. Bad things will happen. Don't think that they won't. Because I think a lot of people took that as, it'll always be someone that knows me. No. Especially in this town, people are looking for money. That is the biggest thing you'd say, robberies, right? On the strip. Yes. Everyone's trying. There's a hustle always. If someone's like, hey, you want to do this or come here with me and do... Someone's trying to hustle you. Yeah, and listen, being a cop all them years, I talk to criminals, right? I interview criminals. I talk to them, and the most thing they talk about is they look for certain victims. They look for people that aren't confident. Yeah. They look for people that's not going to fight back. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I do to people, okay? If I'm walking, I look right in their eyes. I'm not like this. I'm right away, right? I'm scared of them. They know right away if I'm looking down, I'm scared of them. Absolutely. I look them right in the eye, and I want them to know, I know you. I see you. Yeah. Okay? So I get I don't want to call it paranoid again, but I get so in tune with what's around me that I'm not kidding. I'll be in a parking lot of Target. Someone will make eye contact, a guy bigger than me, and I'll look at him dead in the face. Not today. I'll look at him like, no, not today. I'll say it, not today. Yeah. Like, and he's probably like, this lady's so weird, not attempting to do anything to me. But in the case that he was attempting to do anything, he knows not to mess with me. Right. Because I got my little mace out ready. That's legal here, too. Do you know that's illegal in some states? That's crazy. They can't go on Amazon and buy it. Little stun guns are legal here. Okay. I have one of those little purple ones. If you see me with my purple ones, don't try to attack me, guys. But yeah, they're illegal in quite a few states. New York being one of them. They can't have mace. That's crazy. How not okay is that? That's a woman crazy. Trying to go on a subway can't carry mace? That blows my mind. On a subway in New York, you can't have mace. Did you ever get sprayed with mace? No. I've been sprayed with it 3 times. Is it bad? Yes. Oh, good. I'm going to tell the folks out there. My recommendation is pepper spray more than a taser because a taser, you got to keep tasing them, right? Oh, really? It's not just one zap? No, it's going to hurt them, but they're going to recover. Oh, you got to hold it on them? Yeah, that's why I don't like tasers. The pepper spray is lasting. It's 20 to 25 minutes. Let me explain what pepper spray is. Do you ever cook with cayenne pepper? Yeah. Okay? It's cayenne pepper. Do you ever get like pepper in your eye and you're like, oh, I can't see? But even more so cayenne, I'm sensitive. I get it in the throat. Like you breathe the dead and it's like, yeah. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. It takes your breath. Yeah. Your nose starts watering, your eyes start watering, you can't breathe, you can't see. Who pepper sprayed you? Well, we have to carry pepper spray, you have to be pepper sprayed as a cop. Oh my God, that's like some hazing stuff. Yes, we got pepper spray. No way, are you kidding? You would have to we had to put I did not know that. That's not cool. What they would do is, the guy would say, go, and we would try to attack the guy, and he would pepper spray us to see if we could get to him. So you knew it was coming. It was they told us we're getting pepper spray.
Yes, we all knew it was coming.
Imagine waking up in the morning like, oh shit, I'm getting pepper sprayed today. I'm gonna take that out.
Here's the best story about it. They had these big buckets. Okay, I mean, like these big, huge barrels, not buckets, barrels. And they had us dunk our head in it and like open your eyes to get the water out, but it still doesn't help. And here's the thing, when you get home at night and you take a shower, it's in your hair. So you're in your shower and it's coming dripping in your eyes, you're almost falling out of your shower, it's crazy. But you cannot, if you get pepper sprayed, you can't defend yourself. You
So
can't.
really, that's a good thing. If someone
Yeah, you could be
grabs-
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan, you could be Andre the Giant, you could be the biggest man in the world. You get pepper sprayed, you're not defending yourself.
Guys, in legal states where it's legal, get yourself. Go on
Yes.
Amazon. They're so inexpensive. They have cool little colors that actually don't even look like mace. There's like these lipstick ones now and pepper spray that looks like perfume, little things for keychains. Go get yourself. If it's legal in your state, get them for you. This works.
Yeah, the only bad thing about pepper spray, you want to get the stream instead of the cloud one because if it's windy,
It's coming right
it comes
back at
right
you.
back. We were chasing a guy one night, and
Okay.
my partner sprays him while we're running,
And
and
it's-
I'm behind him, he sprays me. So I'm out of the fight right off. I couldn't even see. Like, the guy could have came back and beat me up because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you know, and I don't want to get in controversial subjects, but I will.
You?
But as a police officer, we are taught.
Yeah.
And if somebody has pepper spray and they spray you, they could take your gun.
Oh.
So technically, if they try to pepper spray you, they tell us we can use as much force as necessary to stop that. That's true because if they pepper spray you,
Yeah.
you're incapacitated, they can take your gun. Most police officers are killed with their own weapon. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know that.
Most
Wow,
police officers
I
are killed
did
with their
not
own
know
gun.
that.
And what they teach us, and see, that's a lot of people like critique the police and everything about stuff. We are taught every call we go on, there's a gun. It's our gun. So every call we go on, there is a gun at that scene.
Wow.
It's our gun, and
I've
that gun
never
could be
thought of
taken
that
off
like
us.
that.
Yeah.
Like when you said that, I'm like, no, there's I
They
see.
teach you, I mean, I hate to stand up here, but they
Go
teach
for
you,
it, yeah.
like when you're talking to somebody, you want to keep your gun on this side.
Yeah.
When you're talking to them to get a, you know, you don't want to sit here so they can grab your
Yeah,
gun.
grab my gun.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So there's all kind of different techniques in police work, but yeah, I mean, they teach us that there's a gun at every scene. It's your gun, and most cops are killed by their own gun.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask you
Yeah.
something? Is it so different from the way you were trained back in the day to what goes on with the police now?
yes,
Like, it is, right?
yes,
Because I was thinking about it. Like, I have some age to me. And back in the day, even though when I hear things on the news and stuff like that, it was never like it is today with the cops. Like,
Right.
they're using different levels of force.
yes.
Do you believe it's society or the cops?
You know what? Here's the thing, and you're going to be shocked when I say this. I went through the police academy. You ready?
Okay.
1988. 1988, I went through the police
It's not
academy.
bad.
That's bad. Okay, so it was only 2 years. I graduated from high school in '86.
Okay.
Went through the police academy in '88, and what they taught us, Don, and I just did it in a video last night. There's in police work. There's a thing called use of force.
Okay.
When a cop shows up at a scene, that's a force. Because the uniform people are scared of it. There's a force when a cop sings. Like, there could be a fight, there could be this. And when you see that uniform walking, it changes things.
Okay.
There's a force. So once you show up in that uniform, that is considered a force. Then the next force is verbal commands. You sit over there, you go over there, hey, come here, verbal command. So that's a force.
Okay.
Okay? So you're using these different force techniques, okay? The next thing would be touching somebody. So you're touching them. Hey, stop it. Hey. So the next thing is hands-on. If the person doesn't go with the program, now you're fighting with them. You're trying to get them in handcuffs. You're trying to, and if that don't work, you're supposed to go to pepper spray and you go to your taser. If you done all them things, then you go to your weapon.
Okay.
Okay? And that's what was
So you
taught
mean
my whole.
if that person's like kicking, screaming, like just whatever, then you grab that weapon.
Yeah.
So that's the last resort.
That's the last resort, right? That's what they taught us. You've got to go through all these things. Now, could you skip them and go right to a weapon? Of course, if they have a, you know what I mean?
If they're coming
Right.
at you with another weapon,
Yes.
ready to stab you.
Well, what I see, Don, is, and when I was a cop, like say I arrested a guy for DUI, right? And I would get him out of the car. You can tell when a guy's going to give you problems.
Yeah.
Okay? And I say a guy because 95% of the arrests are male.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Is
going
that
to
true? Like,
Oh,
it's not-
yes.
okay.
Yes. 95% of the arrests are guys.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you get him out of the car, you can tell if the guy's going to give you a problem. You can tell he's not going to go with the program, right? So you can tell you're going to fight with him, right? So I would be, ready for it.
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, I'm going to put you in handcuffs, and bang, they start wrestling. You're tackling them, bringing it down. what I see is when a guy doesn't go with the program now, I would start yelling at him back then like, hey, buddy, let me see your hands. Go with the program.
So you're going through your stuff.
Yeah, and I would knock him down, try to handcuff
Yeah.
him. What I see now is, you don't mind if I stand up
Go
again.
for it.
What I see now is when a guy's not going with the program, instead of like tackling him, bringing him to the ground,
like taking out a
they push him and go right for their gun. Like I noticed that.
Yeah.
Like I believe that the younger guys now are going right for their weapon.
Yeah.
Instead of like fighting them.
Do you think
We used to fight people. I used to get in 10 fights a night. And I was bigger. I was 250 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 175 pounds now. I lost weight after I done being a cop. But I mean, you'd fight 10 times a night.
Do you think that's a training thing, or do you think that's the mind frame of like, oh, these people, like, where did the mind frame go of like, oh, let's fight these people to then get them where we need them to arrest them, rather than like, oh, this person's messing with me, let me go to pull a gun on them.
Yeah.
Is it a?
I think what it is I think there's more violence now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there is. I just think the internet puts it out there more. We didn't have the internet in the 80s.
Yeah.
So if something happened, like I'm from Pennsylvania, if something happened in California, I might learn about that 4 days later, 5 days later. You're learning about it 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
You're learning about it as it's happening.
Yeah.
People are live on TikTok showing you it.
You are live on TikTok showing
So
it.
I mean, life has changed. Life has changed. So was it more violent? Is it more violent now? I don't know. Do we just know more about it now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
That's a good
mean?
question. Yeah. Like what was really going on, and certain things now too. They say that there's so many things with children. Is that stuff was going on back 70s, 80s, and 90s, but we didn't know about it.
We didn't know about it. I totally agree with you.
We do have to take a commercial break. We were supposed to take 2 commercial breaks ago, but anyway, you guys tune back in. We've got a lot more. We're going to go over some cold cases, and we're going to be here chit chatting. Come back on to us.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get about a dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a bowl and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause, because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social Media Shows is now the new media of the century.
welcome back to Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner, we're here on a lot of topics today. This was supposed to be about cold cases, and we decided to talk about everything from the Golden Knights to the streets of Las Vegas, but it was extremely informative.
To gambling.
And a lot of gambling, guys. So if you need some gambling tip, this is your guy. Some sports tips, this is your guy. And some crime stuff, this is definitely your guy. So, Danny, let's get into a little crime today.
Sure.
What kind of cases are you doing right now? I mean, everything. I know you're doing everything.
Listen,
but
at my TikTok, I mean, people email me constantly. I mean, Dawn, the thing is, I can't get back to everybody. Honestly, I probably get 5,000 comments a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And thank God we were just talking during break. 90% of them are positive, but I get the 10% that hate my guts.
Tell me, wait, real quick, because I have haters too. Tell me about your haters.
The biggest thing my haters hate, the one time the guys get on me. I'm going to be honest with you, it's usually guys.
Because the women like it.
Yes. The women like me, the guys... They get on me, this guy's arrogant, he's full of himself, he's this. I'll get comments. The biggest thing is me being loud.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, oh, this guy doesn't make sense, he's too loud, he's this, he's that. But I get a lot, believe it or not, it's shocking, Dawn. I get a lot of my followers from the UK, Australia. I probably have like 20,000 followers from the UK, and they love me because I don't just say why, like the Idaho case, okay? Yeah. A lot of creators will say, this happened, but I'll explain why it happened.
Yeah.
So I go into details.
Can we get into that one?
Yeah.
Too? Okay, because I know this for some reason, it's a huge story, but not everyone knows it. Because I'll mention it to someone and they're like, which one?
How could they not know this? Oh my God.
So let's get into this one a little bit. Guys, for you guys viewing right now, we're talking about the Idaho case. Danny, when did this happen?
The Idaho case happened November 13th, 2022.
Yes.
Okay.
This is recent.
4 college students were murdered.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, they were living in like an apartment house that they rented.
Okay.
And there was I think there was 6 of them living in there.
Right.
Okay. So you got 6 roommates living in this apartment house.
All of them are students, same school.
All of them are students, Idaho State University.
Okay.
Okay. All of them are students.
Good school.
2 of the roommates wake up around 10 o'clock, noon, and they find their roommates, 4 of them roommates murdered. So 2 of the roommates lived through the whole thing.
Okay.
A murderer came in that house, murdered, stabbed, brutally stabbed. 4 of their roommates killed them. And them 2 never heard it. And there was a dog in the house, Don.
So let me ask you. So it was 2 females, 2 males murdered.
3 females, 1 male.
Oh, it was 1 male. Okay,
yeah.
So 3 females, 1 male. And the people that were alive, they were male and female or females?
No, females.
2 females and a dog.
Yes.
We don't know the gender on the dog, but yeah.
No.
The dog was still barking.
The dog that was in, this was weird. The dog was actually in another room. But then I was thinking to myself, the cops did find the dog like in a room all by himself when they showed up at the scene. But sometimes if your dog's acting up, you want to sleep. You maybe put him in another room. This place was known as a party house. Of course, kids are going to party. It's college. So, it was known as a party house with a lot of people in it.
Okay.
Here's the scary part. One of the surviving roommates, she actually saw somebody at night. Like she heard a noise, she opened the door and she saw the killer coming down the steps and then leaving the house.
Now, is it true they were killed by stabbing?
Yes.
That's loud, Danny.
Yes. I don't know how these other roommates heard it. Some people are saying that they might have had headphones in when they were sleeping. Could you imagine waking up to this, Dawn, and everybody in your house, it's like a horror movie. You wake up and there's people murdered.
The thing is, for me, though, I know kind of how it happened, and I know bits and pieces of the story, but I can't see me sound asleep, sleeping through something like that. I mean, I'm not a light sleeper, not a heavy sleeper, but someone being stabbed like that, you have to hear something, furniture moving, something shifting.
Right.
I mean, right?
Yes.
What did these kids say? They just were sleeping.
They were sleeping. And here's the other thing that's going to be brought up in court. They're kids, okay? They called their friends first before they called other friends and said this is what happened before they called the police. It's a weird case. It's a weird case.
Kids how old? 18 to 20?
Yes, college age.
Okay.
Yeah. And it.
So
I feel so bad for
these dead bodies, didn't call the police. They called their friends.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the police were called. So a lot of people are like, when this first happened, of course, it went on a month without them having a suspect. So people were like, the roommates were involved. I mean, and these roommates, they weren't involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? But of course, the internet went crazy because they're like, how do you sit there 10 hours later? They're murdered at this time. You call the cops 10 hours later? There's something wrong here. And at first I was thinking that this don't seem right to me either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you
just
listen to
hearing
this?
it doesn't sound right. But then
Right.
again, you kind of have to understand too, we're not in the situation.
Yes.
We don't know. The internet and the media is going to say one thing. We don't know how it really went down. We don't know if it's truly 10 hours. We don't know any of that. But we don't know also to wake up to that, what kind of mental status I would be in. If I woke up and everybody was like killed in my home, I don't know what I would do.
Right.
You know, I don't know what I call the police, what I call my best. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that case, Don, was going on in November, I mean, it was so big. Like, all my videos on TikTok were about that case. Every single video, I wouldn't get a video under 100,000 views. I mean, it was just insane. I went from 50,000 followers to 150,000 followers. I'm at 170 now. But honestly, that case brought me 100,000 followers. It was just... And people always say, why is this case so intriguing to everybody? It's because it's 4 young kids.
Yeah.
We all feel that. We all feel, my God, for these parents and stuff like that. But how they caught the suspect on was some girl in like a convenience store.
Okay.
She starts going through cameras. It's a small town. It's not like a big city like Vegas. Okay. She starts going. She sees this car flying by, this Honda. I think you drive it too. A Hyundai Elantra. Am I saying that right? They see it. It's a white one, and they put it all over the internet. This girl saw it like speeding past it.
Okay.
Do you know they end up finding that Brian Kohlberger, this guy's name, he went to Washington State University, which is only a couple miles from the Idaho University one. He was a college criminal justice student, so he's studying criminal justice over there.
Okay.
He has this white car, and I think that's what got them to start looking into him. So they started looking into him, and then they found he left the knife case at the scene. So
with his fingerprints all over it?
His DNA on it. What they did was, I assume he had the knife, right? Somebody fights back, he drops the knife case. They find the knife case with his DNA. But what they did was, if you were never arrested before, your DNA ain't on file.
Right.
My DNA ain't on file, yours isn't, nobody's is, okay? You have to be arrested for them to have your DNA on file, okay? So what they did was, his parents live in Pennsylvania, which is crazy. I was doing this case, getting 100,000 followers on it. His parents live where I'm from.
Isn't that weird?
It was so crazy.
That's weird.
It was so crazy. So what they did was they followed him when he left college to go back to Pennsylvania. He drove back.
Okay.
They pulled him over twice, different police departments, because they were following him through the whole way.
I saw that. Was he with his father?
Yes.
His dad was with him. Okay, I did see that. Okay.
So how they solved this was how they got the DNA. They surveillanced his father throwing the trash out. They got his father's DNA from the trash. Were able to use his father's DNA to come up with that it's his DNA.
So the genealogy thing.
Yes.
They went through so that they realized, okay,
Yes.
this is the same. Okay.
So now, I don't know if you heard in the news, he might be a
Yes.
serial killer.
Yes. Now explain this part. This is the part I don't understand. So now there's another girl.
Yes.
And is it because his DNA is now in the system that he's matching to something else, or possibly?
That could possibly be it. What happened was, it's all out there. His parents have been called to a grand jury in Pennsylvania about this missing girl. There's a missing girl in
She's still
Pennsylvania.
missing. She's not dead.
No, they found her.
She's dead.
She's dead. Yeah, she's dead.
How did they find her?
They found her remains in a wooded area. Somebody came across her. But she was missing at the time when he was home in Pennsylvania. So all the cops in Pennsylvania now are looking through all their unsolved murder cases because of this guy.
And assuming this might be a serial killer.
This girl went missing. They have a camera. She left a party. I think she was just going down the street to her house. Never seen again in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I know that case.
Yes.
So wait, that case is now linked to this guy?
Yes. That's
the
what
one
they're
that
saying.
walked home from the party.
I think it was a party.
Yeah,
yes.
she walked home from someplace no one ever saw her.
Yes. Now they found her remains. They're having a grand jury. I don't know what this grand jury is. People are speculating. Why would they call his parents to it?
Is this the one too? Now that kid had the license of one of the. Is that true? The driver's license of one of the victims from the original house.
Here's the thing, Don. All serial killers, as sick as this sounds to both of us, they keep trophy cases. Okay, when they murder somebody, they keep a trophy from them. They might take something off their dresser, might take, a necklace, whatever it is. This case, when they did a search warrant on his house, one of the victims, they found her driver's license in a glove, a rubber glove, in a box in his house. So one of the victims from the Idaho 4's driver's license, he had it. So, and Don, here's the other crazy thing that we can get in. How people end up falling in love with these criminals. There's people on my
Wait, I was with you. Now you just...
Listen, there's people on my Facebook that think he's not guilty. There is a girl that wants to marry him, that is harassing him in prison, wants to marry him. There's people that curse me out saying that he's being framed. Here's the thing. We can all laugh about this thinking, oh, yeah, he's framed. The problem with our country right now is our jury system. I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
Because could we get 12 normal people on a jury? Right. Everything's a conspiracy. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Everything.
You know, Danny, I think about that a lot. That scares me a lot.
Yes!
Because people are so warped with some things they see on the internet and things like they're not thinking rationally sometimes. And yes, could we get 12 people to actually say this? Are there going to be 12 people in love with them?
Yes.
That's insane to me.
Yes. I mean, there is girls writing him love letters.
Can I tell you something? This is completely kind of off topic, but this just goes to show you. There's a fairly good-looking man on TikTok, and he said something to, he's single, and he said to all women out there, I'll make this quick. He listed like 15 qualities of who he is, you know? So he's like fishing for women. And he's like, well, I'm the type of man that'll do this. Now he's muscular, he's good looking, blah, blah, blah. And one of them said, well, you know, if we have babies together, I'll make sure I keep our babies in check with any way I have to. You know, I'm a firm believer in spanking. I'm a firm believer in this, firm believer in that. And all these girls, literally, so all the good qualities, I'll pay your bills, I'll love you, I'll romance you. And then, so this, and I don't get into it on TikTok. I have a lot of haters, but I don't get, and a lot of followers. I don't get in Instagram, but I don't get into it with people. I try not to. I try to be a little bit classy when it comes to that. But I did have to say something because there was literally thousands of women saying, oh my God, be my baby daddy, like all this crazy stuff. And I just said to the women, are you guys really reading? Like, did you hear him?
Right.
He said he's going to beat your children.
Right.
Like, he said that, like, if you get out of hand, he'll know how to man you. Is this real? Now we're asking for men to abuse us? Like, is this
crazy.
nuts? So I had a bunch of women hate saying, you're this, you're that, you couldn't get him anyway. I'm like, these people, I feel like sometimes the entire world has gone crazy. With what they would look for. So he's a good-looking man with muscles. He'll beat your children and throw you up against the wall. If you get out of hand, this is what we're looking for in America. This is what I'm saying. To find 12 normal people is going to be a challenge.
It's going to be a challenge.
Sorry.
I'm on TikTok. I'm afraid to say different words. Like, I sit there and I think, could I say this?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say this? I don't even know what the heck to say anymore.
You're really good at that, though.
I know.
Like, I'm not. You're really good at that.
I have to. You have to say unalived.
No,
yes.
And you know what? You were very respectful too, because I was watching your stuff, and you've done some stuff with some of my talent, which is awesome. Thank you so much with Carmen and Levi.
She's actually going to be on. Carmen's going to be on my show tomorrow.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah.
And your show with Levi was just awesome.
Well,
so good.
Levi was so good on the show too.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he really is.
Do you know he's working? This kid has got a schedule. Hey, Levi, shout out to Levi McDonald out there. But he's got he got the Shot series.
Okay.
That thing.
Did he?
He did. He got the
I'm
Shot
happy
series.
for that kid.
So
He deserves it, man.
He's filming this week, and then there's next week he's got something. And the following week he has like his prep for New York, then he leaves for New York. This kid came out of nowhere, back to back to back to back. He's killing the game. He's in the gym every morning. When I tell you, like, he is the epitome of what success looks like. And it comes from that background where you think he would have no shot. He has just risen, and I'm just so proud of who he is.
And it's just, and this is what I always say, Don, we all don't start on the same starting line.
Right.
And if you think that, you're crazy, because we don't.
Yeah.
Some people start here, some people start way up there. Some people are born a winner.
Yeah.
They're born into a winner family. You know what I mean? And you know, my one friend, he looks up to this one guy, right? And I always tell him, and I'm not going to mention names, but I always tell him, I'm like, he came from money.
Yeah.
It was easier for him.
Yeah.
Me and you didn't come from money. It was easy for him. When you have money, it's easier to make money.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is. You know?
Absolutely, and I feel like that can go either way, though. If you have somebody that was raised with a lot of money and doesn't value the money itself and doesn't understand, because if you don't have a business mind frame, with or without money, you're not going to make it.
Right.
Someone that lacks financial, that's another thing in a way, too. They say people that have grown up in poverty, they almost always stay in poverty because they don't know how to, even if they got some money, they wouldn't even know what to do with it. Right. So it is sad.
Yes.
And we all don't start on the same playing field.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
And you know what it is as well, no matter what, you got to make the best life you can. And that's like Levi, like Carmen. Those kids did that.
Yes.
And they're going up in this world so quickly. I'm so proud of them.
Levi got that look too. He can play any role.
Anybody.
That's what I told him. I said he can play a role in any movie. You know, I told him I hope someday I see him in this big movie and I'm like, hey, I know that guy. He's on my podcast.
He will be extremely famous.
Yeah.
Carmen as well. He
Yeah.
will be extremely famous. That's funny. The first day I ever met him, he came in my office and I thought the same thing. And I said to him, I said, there's so many versions of you. You could be so many people.
Yeah.
He's got such a sweet face, those
Yep.
beautiful blue eyes, but he looks rough.
Yeah, he could work at Sons of Anarchy, something like that. I thought he can. There's a bunch of roles that that guy could play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you ever get me a role like a mafia role, I think I'd be good at it.
Oh my God.
Like Joe Pesci, you know, I got that accent, you know. That would make my
We're collabing something, guys. We're working actually on some reality right now, but we're going to collab something. We're going to have maybe our producer put something together here, because definitely you need to do something. Yeah.
I tell you what, the mafia shows are my favorite.
Me too.
Sopranos, all that stuff. I mean,
I casted Sopranos.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I'm not one of those people. I don't talk too much about my resume, but Nick Marangeli, thank you. I don't talk too much about my resume and what I've done and haven't done or whatever, but Sopranos is one of mine. Yeah, and I love the show too.
I know we're jumping around, but I got to stay on this real quick. I know we were just talking about the Idaho case, but I got to stay on this.
No one interviews me about this stuff. They're just like, oh, she's just a seasoned person. Oh God, it was so much Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. And
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you do have a good resume, huh? Oh my gosh.
I'll show you my resume one day. But they seem to like me on Instagram. Other than that, you know what it is? I think that this is funny. I try to keep up with the young people because I work with a lot of from, I guess, 15 to 25-year-olds and a little bit older. That's my demographic. That's my age group. I love the little ones, but I like when they start at 15 because they understand, they can learn, they're good on the runway. I can teach them about life. I love those relationships. I have no biological children myself, so these are all my babies. They call me Mama Dawn. But I think I connected them because I keep it young. Like they taught me their new language. My modeling class, they taught me how to speak. I know all my new words. Like, you know, in my age group, I'm not supposed to know these things, but I'll tell these little girls. They'll walk the runway and they say, we'll only respond to you if you talk to us how we talk. So it sounds like this. They walk the runway, slay. And then I call them queen. So you don't know what that means.
No.
Okay. Oh, see? So slay means like, yeah, you did it. Queen means like another girl considered queen. And that just means like you're everything.
Okay.
They have this new one. It's ate. You ate. It means like you ate everything on the plate. It's weird. It's not the lingo that we use with the girls teach me. So I think on my Instagram, people are like, okay, there's this like kind of older lady, but she's cool and she's and she understands. It's because of my kids. So I get all this Instagram love and because of the show and everything. But yeah, they just love me and they think like I'm this young, cool thing. But I have to tell them like, what does that mean to everything that they say? Because I don't understand. But the girls break it down for me and they tell me what it means and how I'm supposed to use it grammatically correct. So I'm learning, which is cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have younger daughters. My daughters are, well, my one daughter just turned 30. My other's 26.
You have a 30-year-old child?
Yes.
Oh my God, Danny looks good. Danny looks good. Anybody producing a mafia movie right now?
Yes, I can do it.
You have a 30-year-old?
I might have trouble memorizing lines, but we'll get over that.
Do you have grandchildren from the 30-year-old?
Huh?
Do you have grandchildren from the 30-year-old?
No, my 26-year-old. I mean, yeah, my 30-year-old. I'm sorry.
Has baby.
Yes.
A baby, two babies, one baby?
One baby.
One baby.
So I have one grandchild.
That's it. Boy or girl?
Boy.
You're someone's grandpa.
I'm someone's grandpa.
Wow, that is so cool. Yeah. How old is he?
8.
Okay, so does he know yet my grandpa's the screaming TikTok guy?
Yes, he knows. I put him on the he sat up in the microphone and everything, so I had him up.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Does he love it?
He loves it. Yeah, he wants to start a YouTube channel.
Does he know Grandpa's famous?
I'm not famous.
You're
I'm starting to get famous.
70,000 followers. That was a great thing too with Phil Collins. Was it Phil Collins?
Yeah, did you like that?
I loved it. Guys, log on to TikTok and go see Danny celebrating 170,000 followers. It was to Phil Collins in the air tonight. It was awesome. It was so awesome. So you are TikTok famous. So does he know like people love you and that you have all this stuff?
He does he does game streaming. Believe it or not, at 8 years old.
Oh, so they're smart.
Yeah, he started his own YouTube channel already. So he wants to be social media too.
Oh, so it's in the family.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really cool because he's a little more quieter than me. You know what I mean? And he just loves this gaming stuff. And you know what? Years ago, you would you wouldn't encourage this.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you encourage it.
Absolutely.
Social media, you can get rich.
Yeah.
There's people, millionaires from this stuff.
Yeah.
They're more popular than regular stars on social media.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy.
There's this one family, and the father was like years and years ago, you guys can't be on social media, can't be on social media. They made a couple $1 million. Now the dad's like, can make another video,
Yes.
make another video.
Yes.
We've got a minute left. Oh, we have a minute left to break? Yeah, we have a minute. Oh, no, I think we have a minute left to wrap it up.
Yeah, we thought this was fun.
Oh my God, this was awesome.
Awesome.
Normally, guys, if you're just logging in for the first time to sit with Danny and I, it's Danny. We talk about a lot of crime. We talk about everything. I am a talent agent. Let me just go ahead and plug Dream Tracks Academy. Guys, I'm going to repeat it again. Dream Tracks Academy, 877-ACTING-4, 877-ACTING-4. Give them a call. Natalie will hook you up with everything you need. Acting, modeling, TV, commercial, film, print. We do everything. I'm heading to New York City June 24th to June 30th with my team. I love you, all my babies. Those are my babies. We're going to kill it. We're going to do great. I'm so excited for this. International Model and Talent. I have a lot of castings going on. Log on to our Dream Tracks Facebook page. That's where you can see everything. Dream Tracks Facebook page. If you're new, come on in. Natalie will get you set up with the class that you're supposed to be in, and you can meet me and see if there's anything out there for you guys. Again, my personal Dawn Sullivan _. That's my Instagram, Dawn Sullivan _ I appreciate every single one of you guys for logging in week after week and sending us so much love. I love even my haters. I'm still not going to get my age and why I look the way I look, all your weird questions, but haters hate, whatever. And Danny, thank you so much. You have added so much to the show with me. You've got like
I think we got a good show going on.
Absolutely.
Here. Yeah.
Yes. And look out for us. We're going to be doing some reality soon. Maybe something out of state. We're going to just do some reality. Maybe we'll chase some criminals. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm 54. I mean, I'm running out of time. We got to get this going.
Yeah. Not running out of time.
I always say that.
TikTok famous. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Contact us. And Danny, how can they get in touch with you?
At the Crime Solver. Oh, Yahoo. Oh, do I have to give my Yahoo email?
No, don't give the Yahoo email.
The Crime Solver at yahoo.com. All right, I'm going to change it to Gmail.
Can you get a Gmail?
I'll do
it takes
I'll
2
do
seconds.
All right.
You're on the computer 8 hours a day.
All right. I know, it's embarrassing.
It's not. Thank you so much for logging in. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time. Thanks, guys.